Hey, it's me again. I'm so glad to be alive. I'm so grateful. Welcome back again to this video and just be patient with me. I'm building this thing from the ground up. No prior knowledge of how these things are run. No experience. No nothing. We're just starting from ground zero. This is podcast 101. You don't care. We just learn. I don't know what I'm doing. And neither are you. You really don't know what you're doing. And without further ado, here goes nothing. Nobody knows anything, as a matter of fact. So if you sit down there waiting for some big moment to happen, a light bulb going off your head for you to start your journey, to commence your journey, you'll be stuck there forever. I am not here to preach. I'm not here to offer inspirational speech. No, I'm just running my mouth. What do I know? Bro, nobody knows anything. But the most important thing is to make it count. Make it count, just make it count. Count yourself, wake up every day, and do things because that's what men do. Men wake up and get focused and they start to do things, they start to create things. Because a man is like a god. That's what he is. A man was created in the image of God. He is the bearer of the image of God, the first of his own kind. When God said, let us create a man in his or in our own image, our own likeness. That's what he meant. So you bear the image of God, and God is a creator. So therefore, every man anywhere on the planet, no matter how small, no matter how big, you are a creator. So right now, from the day you were born, you have either created things that are worthy of you or you haven't. So what I would like to advise young people right now that you know that you are a creator, we have gotten that out of the way. Do not let anybody pressure you into acting an age that you have gotten there yet. Act your age. That's it. If you're a young man from 13 to, let's say, 17, the age of high school, just act your age. There is no pressure. When you are a child, you are supposed to act like a child. When you're a teenager, act like a teenager. There is stages to life. When you get to that stage, make sure you explore it 100%. Make sure you do everything that you need to do in that stage so that you don't spill over, you don't carry the burdens or the leftovers of the previous stage to the next stage that you are going. Do not let anybody pressure you into acting an age, a phase of a life or a stage of a life that you have not gotten there yet. Feel no pressure. If young people act stupid, and I believe they do all the time because young equals stupid, be and act stupid with it. Go all the way. There's somebody who said, if you go down, I go to hell. Yeah. So if somebody is acting up, you know what I mean? Act up, act a fool, 100%. And then once you're done with that stage, move on to the next one. That's what I would tell my son. That's what I would tell my younger self. Remember, there's no competition. You're not competing with anybody. You're competing with yourself today and your better self tomorrow. You're not competing with other boys or with other men. I'm talking to men. I'm talking to a boy. And being born a man or a male into this world, it can both be a curse and it can be both a curse and a blessing at the same time. A blessing in the sense that a man is a creator and he's going to create big things that are going to change the world. Technology, innovations, all the biggest innovations are made by men. The amazing world that we live in today was made by men and maintained and run by men today. That's number one. You have that opportunity as a man to create amazing legacy behind you by sheer determination. And on the other hand, as a curse, you have a curse of being born a man because nothing that a man has comes easy. You have to earn your way into stardom, you have to earn your way into greatness. Nothing is going to be handed over to you just like that because you're a man. As a man, the responsibility of running society and taking care of everybody rests squarely on your shoulders, and there's no way you can escape it. It's not. It's inescapable. It's inexcusable, and it's not a hat that you wear on and off. These things are assigned at birth, and there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to wear big man's shorts and big man's boots and pull yourself by the bootstraps. Be a responsible human being because the whole world is looking up to you as a man to do things. Your wife, your girlfriend, your mother, your father, your friends, everybody is looking up to you to do something. When things happen, we look to the strongest man, the so called alpha man, to be able to make things happen, to help everybody, to help humanity, to build us out of the situation that we might find ourselves in. And so that's the duty, God-given duty of a man to be able to do that. So in a sense, that's a whole lot of responsibility to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. And nobody can prepare you for it. You just thrust into that responsibility. And to whom much is given, much is expected. When you're given all that responsibility, all that authority over society, it can come at a cost of your sanity, of your well-being, and nobody actually stops to care about the men who do these things. Yeah, as a man, your job is to be a man at all times. There is not a single time as a man you are going to say that I am retiring or I'm taking a break from my duties and my responsibilities. Every single time that is about to happen or that's about to happen, there are so many things that will go wrong. If, for example, for whatever reason, men collectively one day decided they are not going to show to work to run society just the way it is run normally, the world as we know it today, the way it runs smoothly, in order, is going to collapse overnight because all the infrastructure that is needed to run society smoothly is run by men. Everything is done by men. So men carry the responsibility of everybody on their shoulder. That's a very heavy responsibility. And so we need very strong men at the helm of leadership to decide for everybody, to make decisions for everybody. And so the chaos that you see in the world today is because we have allowed weak men to be in the helm of leadership, and they have created all these chaos. As a man, you're supposed to be like a lion, you're supposed to be a vessel, a dangerous weapon. You're not supposed to be ineffective or fragile, or somebody who does not command respect or fear. You're supposed to be dangerous and a man of massive means and capabilities, who is capable of doing immense harm, but somehow able to control or to put all that under control. There is nothing worse than a weak man, and especially a weak man with a little bit of authority, a weak man with a little bit of power to himself. That's a danger not only to himself, but a danger to society. And all the chaos that we see today in the world is because of these the said weak men. So, like I said, a man, when you are born with this God given responsibility to make sure that the society runs smoothly. So, in 2025, I'm not sure if you're a young one, if you're a baby, if you're being born in 2025, I'm not quite sure if you want to be born as a boy. And remember, everybody wants to take from men. Nobody cares about what men are doing or what they are up to or their mental health. Nobody cares. We don't care about men. All we care about is that there is a man somewhere dying for us, doing things for us, providing for us, caring for us, providing his knowledge, his counsel, his leadership, his time. Bro, everybody takes from a man. Nobody gives a man anything. And that's the reality. And we have found ourselves here more times every day. That is the reality on the ground. So, uh, if I could speak to my son, or the sons that I'm going to have in the future, I don't have any good news for a man being born in 2025. I don't know. I don't have any. I don't. And for women, they have it easy. I'm not going to overlook or trivialize the challenges that they have to go through every day as a man, with all the sex predators and assault and the gripping that goes on, and some of the other gender-based violence that is visited upon women. They have their fair share of difficulties and challenges that they have to face. And for a feminist, she's going to argue all these chaos and all this pain and all this suffering mm, visited upon women is done by men. We can argue that. But I would say we have bad people on both sides. A bad person is a bad person. It doesn't matter what they believe in or what religion they claim. what gender they happen to be. Uh, a bad person is a bad person. We have seen women do some horrible things to other women or towards men, and we oftentimes see men, bad men, do really crude and bad things to both men and women. So it's not a question of gender, although you can argue because of a biological inclination, predispositions. You can argue that men on average tend to be more aggressive and tend to commit more violent crimes than women. You can argue that. Okay. So it is what it is. Men will always face difficulties, and for you to be able to be accepted into this world as a person of value, and as a person deserving respect and reverence, you have to have achieved something. And that is the messaging around boys and men. That's what we tell our men every day. We put our men on the line. They have to perform, they have to become something, they have to prove to the world that they are valuable through achieving financial success and mm, building value around themselves. And usually, this value is tethered to financial success. As a man, your value is tied to how much money you have accumulated over the years. And without something tangible like that bringing on the table at all times, nobody's going to look at a man as somebody that has value. On the other hand, women, they have that intrinsic value, they are born with it, and they can use that as leverage to get ahead in life. That is to be expected anyway. So, all I want to do is succeed because I have an appetite for those things. I'm hungry and it's time to eat. And whenever you're grinding and preparing the meal and finding all the ingredients, being out there grinding, there's nobody there to do that with you. But even when you're cooking, you're real cooking and just preparing the bread, the meal. Ain't nobody there with you. But when you made the table and the food is ready, everybody wanna pull out a plate to eat with you. That's the sad reality of life. Whenever you're just grinding and going up and doing the steps up the stairs and climbing and doing the numbers, putting in work. Usually you do that all by yourself, all alone. But when the table has been done, it's ready, everybody want to come eat with you, man. It's a lonely journey, especially for men. That's the harsh reality. Oftentimes I feel lonely and it's difficult and it's treacherous, this journey, this road to stardom and greatness. And it's true, that's how it is. It's dangerous, it's full of danger. Wild animals, uh, they're lurking in the shadows, waiting to devour you. So much discouragement going on. Mm. When all that is happening, you're all by yourself. Again, nobody's coming to help you. But at the pinnacle, at the finish line, when you hit that finish line and it's time to receive your reward and your trophy, now everybody comes out from the hiding, from the shadows. They want to eat with you. They want to share that glory with you. They want to be part of your success. What can I tell you? Welcome to the real world. That's how things get done in this side of the world. That's the reality of it. It's not pretty. It's but it's the reality. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. And so I came to that realization. And sometimes I get so mad, I get so angry. Why does it have to be like that? Why don't we, as a family of human beings, live together in this reality that we have created? Why can't we create a reality, a utopia where everybody lives a life to their fullest, where everybody fulfills their dreams and they're happy? My dream help somebody else achieve theirs, and we're living in all this utopian bubble paradise. Why can't we all be successful at what we do all at once and live happily ever after? Why do we experience a whole lot of negativity and a whole lot of struggle and stress and depression and mental health? When you're dating somebody, why can't you just enjoy the ride without the bumps and having all these blissful moments and make creates great memories forever and ever? And then I realized that that world I've created in my mind, it only exists there. It does not exist in the real world. We are living in a fallen state. This is a fallen state, the world of sin. When sin entered into the world and it festered and it thrived over the years, this is the result. Jealousy, murder, competition, greed, capitalism, all these vices, they are amongst us because it doesn't make sense to be able to have $1 billion in a bank and you're hoarding all this wealth and you can only have one plate, you can only wear one suit at a time, drive one car at a time, lay in one single bed at a time, live in one room at a time. But somehow it doesn't please you to have all these billion lying in the bank, dormant, doing nothing, just because all those monies is tied to your name. That somehow gives you joy. I don't know how you can live with yourself having all this money and there's somebody else that is starving. Somebody else doesn't have food. Somebody else doesn't have a decent living. People are here living like kings and queens, and others living like feral animals. How can you ever live with yourself with that knowledge? But do they care? I don't think so. I don't think they care, and that's what makes it evil. It doesn't make sense to me. But then again, I remember, it has not been lost on me that we are living in a fallen state, a state of sin, full of evil people, full of greedy people. That's what we are at right now.